Got a lot of content to get to tonight. This is the portion where the candidates have agreed to ask each other a direct question. It follows the same format, a 90-second answer, a 60-second response, a 30-second rebuttal. First question asked goes to Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you, Dave. When the Seattle Times endorsed me over you in this campaign, they wrote about your views on reproductive freedom. Specifically, they wrote you attended a meeting of an extreme anti-choice organization whose mission is to end abortions nationwide. The Seattle Times wrote about your response to a question at that meeting, and I'm quoting, Reichert responded by noting state law protected abortions, and now they quote your response. But what we have to do now is work towards unraveling all that. Can you explain to the women of Washington State why you want to unravel reproductive freedom in our state?
Once again, taken out of context. That was a multi-question. There were 3 or 4 questions that I was asked that night. And the unraveling comment was directed toward transgenders participating in women's sports. It was also referencing the use of men in women's bathrooms. That's what the unraveling comment, Bob, was all about. We haven't had an abortion law here since 1970. I will enforce that law as governor. I enforced it when I was a sheriff's deputy in the 70s, kept abortion clinics open as people protested in Federal Way to close them down. My job as a patrol cop was to keep the driveway and the sidewalk open. I will protect your rights, ladies. You have the right to make that choice. The Supreme Court has made a decision. It's the people of Washington State that make those decisions for women and voters of Washington.
Mr. Ferguson, 60 seconds.
Thanks. Well, you can either believe Dave or believe the audio, and also his record reflects his perspective of not defending your reproductive freedom. When you were back in Congress, Dave, you voted 3 times for a nationwide abortion ban that criminalizes doctors. You voted to make certain abortions that are legal in Washington State illegal and criminalize doctors. You also, when you were back in Congress, voted time after time after time to defund Planned Parenthood. Look, in a post-Dobbs world where reproductive freedom is on the line all across our country, you have a choice. You can either elect a governor who has a history of defending your reproductive freedom, who's endorsed by Planned Parenthood, or someone who says, hey, believe him or believe the Seattle Times. KUOW reported this story. So I get that you want to deny it, Dave, but once again, you say one thing when you think you're behind closed doors and something else entirely when you're speaking to the people of the state of Washington. And you're running for governor, you can't have it both ways.
30-second rebuttal.
Man, he can lie with a straight face. I'm telling you right now, what he's telling you is an absolute falsehood. I voted not once to end abortion in the United States of America. I voted on a viability law that allows women to have the choice up to 20 weeks. It's almost exactly the same law that exists in Washington State today. So don't believe him when he says this. Don't believe the ads that you see. And is this race really about abortion?